Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I want to thank all my subscribers, new and existing subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Please feel free to share my videos. Feel free to comment in the thread, or some of you don't like to comment, you email me. Feel free to do that as well. So guys, I want to talk with you about something very quickly, and it is about being a good steward of whatever God gives to you. Sometimes people tend to look at their job or their positions, and they just think they either grow comfortable with their jobs and positions and they start to cut corners, or they think it's no big deal. My job is not important, so then therefore they're not putting their all into their jobs. But guys, laziness, the Bible talks about that a lot. It talks about, a person who doesn't work a man that doesn't work should not eat. It talks about a little folding of the hands, and I forgot the other part, but basically a little folding of the hands, a little rest for the eyes, sleeping in, so shall thy poverty come upon you like an armed man. There's so many different proverbs that talks about laziness. It talks about someone saying there's a lion outside, so I can't go to work. I can't do what I need to do. I'm paraphrasing. And so basically just an excuse being made. It talks about a person going hunting, but they don't even have the wherewithal to clean the game, or to clean what they've hunted for. And so over and over again, we'll find lots and lots of scriptures that talks about that, guys. Laziness. And, even though the word of God says, as I'm speaking to you, the Holy Spirit is revealing to me that even when it says a man who doesn't work, won't eat or shouldn't eat, there's some of you that are working, but you're not working. And so that's what the Lord wants me to talk about today. Being a good steward of what you have. You may be able, there's some people that they know how to go to work all day and not work. They know how to go walk the halls. They know how to, the last half hour of work, they disappear. They go walk around, go waste time, and come back just in time to clock out. I know these things because I was actually in charge of, not only soldiers, but also civilians. So I see the tricks of the trade. There are people that will do that. There are people who are not good stewards of their jobs. When they're at work, they're going to make their appointments for sometime in the afternoon. So if they make their appointment at 1, 2 o'clock, they're not going to come back. Or they have an appointment in the morning, first thing in the morning, so they're going to come back way after lunch. There are people who will, some employees I knew, they had a pattern. They call in on Fridays and on Monday. They get sick on Fridays and they get sick on Mondays. Whatever your pattern may be. Now, there's some people they don't do that now, but they know how to come to work and waste time. They do enough. They're sitting at the desk, and God forbid they have one of those, dark screen protectors where it's just super dark. You can't tell what they're doing, and they have so many different little things open up, and they know how to minimize things and appear like they're working. You or these individuals may be able to fool to fool people, but you don't fool God. And it is God that promotes. It is God that elevates. It is God that turns the heart of the king to make decisions. So in other words, he can put it in your supervisor's heart to promote you if that's his will. If you are a good steward, and even if you are being a good steward and your boss overlooks you, when you are faithful and God sees that, he's going to make a way for you. He is, whether it's at that job or something else opens up for you somewhere else. So it's important to have good stewardship. That is on my heart. I believe I've done a video like this before. Good stewardship is really important. When you go to work, do your job. You may not like it, but do your job. Wherever you work, present yourself well. Whatever you're doing, deal with the customers on the phone to the best of your abilities. You do it according to the standard of that job. You take care of the clients despite them being rude to you. I know that can be hard if you're doing, customer service work, but you need to be able to, that's why you got the job and they don't have the job, right? And even if you want to be a good steward, guys, in how you deal with customers, if you're in stocking, you want to do the right things. You want to really take the expired items down and put them in the order that they need to be in. Whether you are working as a stocker, whether you are at the front desk, whether you are in a medical clinic, whether you are at a construction site, whether you are in food service, be a good steward of that job. That job that you have, you may think it's nothing, but you are looking at your paycheck. You're looking forward to your paycheck, are you not? You may think it's nothing, but there's someone who would want what you have because they don't have it. No matter what you are given, no matter what job you're given, do a good job. If you're in food service, go home, wash your uniform, clean your uniform, clean your shoes off as best as you can. Tuck your shirt in, do things right. The biggest thing about your character and values is what you do when no one else is looking. And that's what's important. You don't want to cut corners in food service. You don't want to be in there doing things that would be hazardous to someone's health. You don't want to be a part of that. Show up on time. Do your best, even if you don't like your job. And I'm here to tell you, thank God for your job. And the Lord will see what you're doing, and He's going to reward you accordingly. There are people who are at work and they know how to just sit there and not work and appear to be working. They know how to work the system. They know how to give trouble, especially people, I've said this before, in federal employee. They work for the Department of Defense. You don't get fired easily in those jobs unless you've really done something outlandish. And so you have individuals that will work for the federal government. They'll work for the Department of Defense. They know how to work the system. They know how to work the system to get over, give their boss hell, but they know how to turn it and go to the union and do all these things. And they know they're doing wrong, but they're going to go to the union because they want to tangle up the boss, and they feel, oh, well, you want to do what you're going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. God looks at that. God sees those things, guys. And so it is very, very important that even though individuals need to understand that even though you may get over on the boss, even though you may snicker when you put in for your leave, you didn't put it in time, or you did, but then there were other people who put their leave in before you, and they have to make a decision and you have to work, but then you call in sick and that's what you do. God sees it. And sometimes there are things that you want to do in your life that it's taken a long time. And no matter what you're doing and no matter how many steps you're taking to get it done, you find yourself being kind of held back. But the reason why that's happening is because of the seeds that you're sowing. What you sow, you're going to reap. You have a job, but you're doing what the Word of God says not to do. A man who doesn't work shouldn't eat. So you are at work, but you're not working. God sees that. God sees when you're mistreating the clients and the customers. God sees people who are in business and now business is flourishing. They're picking and choosing who they're going to give customer service to. Remember, the Bible says, be careful how you treat strangers because you may have entertained angels unaware. And I truly believe in my heart that there are many business owners who an angel has entered into their business and they mistreated them because of what they look like, because of the mood that they were in. And those things really affect people. There are people that's working hard. They're trying to keep their business afloat. They're doing all the stuff. They may have a high turnover. They may have a lot of conflict in the workplace, or they may just be miserable. They have this emptiness inside, even though the business is booming. Why? Because of the way they're doing things. Stewardship. Stewardship is not only in doing your job. Good stewardship is not just about how well you do your job, but stewardship is how well you deal with your employees. Stewardship is also in how well you're dealing with your patrons. Stewardship is how well, what you're doing with the money, the books, what you're reporting, what you're not doing. Stewardship is what you're reporting on your taxes, what you are claiming, whether it's true or false. This is all good stewardship, guys. And so it's just in my heart to talk to whoever, not to be discouraged in the job you have, not to think, oh, all I'm doing, I'm just a janitor, I'm just this, I'm just that. Do your job to the best of your ability. When you do these things, God will see, and he's going to reward you, and he will open doors for you. There are many people who are stuck because of their attitudes and because of how they treat people and what they do behind closed doors, or what they're doing when no one is looking, the things that they're doing to learn how to get over. They have that you owe me attitude. Some people are there, they're just, little abolitionists on the job, just starting trouble. Oh, the boss is this, the boss is that, so you're just a little renegade at work. Cut that out. That's not what you're there for. Do your job. If there's something that is unfair and it's not right, then of course there should be organizations and that you can go through and do things the right way. And more than anything, you can go to the throne of grace and you can pray to the Father. Stop being at work rebelling, being a new and improved Nat Turner at work. Do your job. Stewardship. God rewards. It is not by might and it is not by our power, but it's by the Spirit of God. So therefore, he's the one that rewards. He is the one that elevates. So he's looking at what you do with your job, whatever it may be. Do it well. Show up. Pray when there's conflict. Pray for grace and mercy. And even if you have that boss from hell, continue to pray. Ask God for his grace and mercy. You continue to behave yourself wisely, and you're going to see how he'll turn things around. You can never be a boss or supervisor or be put in a position of power when you are subject to your own emotions. You don't do what's right. You get in your feelings. How could you be in charge of people if you are not in charge of yourself? You have no rule over your own spirit. How can you rule? In other words, how can you supervise others? How can you lead others? If you're not able to bring yourself out of the rut, if you're not able to push past your feelings, if you're not disciplined enough to do your job, to show up in time, to complete the work, to be honest, to clean up your space when you're done, to do your share, how can you be in charge? There are people they're not even good stewards once they really start making money. I talk about this with beauty and barbershop, and there are other, places of business, any business. Once they start doing well, sometimes they lose that, the customer service because, the money's coming in. It doesn't matter if I lose you. I don't care. I have more people, but you still lose money. I've always given an example. A person could have $999,999. If I add $1, you're a millionaire. If I take $1 away, you're no longer a millionaire. This is just $1. So there's lots of people who they lose a lot of money. They are not as wealthy, or they're working longer. They can't do the things that they like to do in their lives because they're rude to people. They're picking and choosing who they're going to be nice to. They're disrespectful. They get lazy. But if that client walks out the door, you may think you have 20 more, but you're still poorer, because you have to think what service that client would have bought, how often they would have come, they would have received whatever purchase they would have, got. Let's say get a perm or something like that. You have to think of that dollar amount times the amount of times they would have come in a month, times the amount of times they would have come in a year, times the people that they would have told about you. You have to think of what you lose when you treat that person badly, and the people that they'll warn and tell them about your business that won't come. So there's lots of people who they cut off their nose to spite the customer, to be rude. I understand that sometimes there are customers that are rude, and even then there's a way to deal with things. You don't want the patronage of anyone who is disrespecting you and wreaking havoc in your business. But we're talking about business owners that are just rude. There's always somebody else that can do what you want to do, even what you can do. If you're a beautician, there's other beauticians. You may be the best beautician in town. There's no one else. But you know what? There's so many different options. People go out there and buy a wig and buy good hair, buy something and put it on their head for now, put their hair in a ponytail until they find that beautician that is respectful. But you have people who are in business that are just being completely outlandish in their behaviors, but you're growing poorer in the process. God is looking for people who are, no matter how rich you become and no matter how well off you become, if you have a client that's coming at a certain time, you show up and you be on time. And you don't show up late and don't give any explanations and be rude and have an attitude on top of it. And then you still have to have breakfast and all these things. I see that happen quite a bit. And one of the reasons I made a lot of changes in where I go for servicing and certain things, if I go there and I see it's just disorderly, I pull myself from that. I may go one more time to see if I was wrong, but if I'm going and I see that there's just some, no, I don't need to do that, because what, this person has a lazy and entitled spirit. I don't want this person servicing me and touching on me and or servicing my children, because there are places where people are dedicated and they have good stewardship, and you want to bless these people. You want to put money in these people's hands to help them out. So as I close out this video, I just want to say good stewardship is really important, guys. God is looking at what you're doing. He sees everything. It doesn't matter what your boss misses or cannot prove, or what no one sees you doing because you're working the night shift and you're supposed to start your job. You're supposed to do certain things. You may be doing janitorial work. There's certain things you're supposed to do and you don't get it started. You're sitting, you're on the phone, you're doing the stuff. God sees it. And so if you're lazy, if you're folding your hands on the job, if you're sitting at the job but you're not working, realize that what you sow, you're going to reap. And even if you manage to get a business and you get things, you're going to get the type of people like yourself. If you want to be a business owner, then you have to, you have to have good stewardship with your employee now. Because you're going to get people like yourself when you get your own business, and they'll be worse. And if you did not do well as an employee, you definitely not going to take care of people as an employer. Do well, whatever your job is. It is not mundane. It doesn't matter job. God wants to bless you, but he wants to also teach us stewardship. No matter what the job may be, no matter what the position may be, and no matter how successful you become, you're still required to have stewardship of your position. Many angels unaware has entered into the doors of businesses. And there's an unseen audience that watches you as you fool around at work all day. And God sees it. So be a good steward, guys. Good steward of your job, good steward of your place, good steward of your car. If you have a car, it doesn't matter. Oh, you think it's just a little old hoopty? Take care of your hoopty. Do what you can do. If you don't take care of hoopty, how can you be trusted to get something nicer? If you're not cleaning that car, you're not going to clean your other car. You got a small apartment, small home, clean it up. Be a good steward of what you have. You only have a few pieces of clothing. Be a good steward of it to the best of your ability as you can. And I'm going to tell you that when you do that, God will add more. He will bless you. He's not going to give you a bigger house if you're keeping your small house dirty. He's not going to give you a better car if you got hot dog juices and stuff in your car. I have seen some people where I remember when my little one was younger, my eldest son, and I'll be putting him in the car and I'll see another parent open up their car and the door, there's that crust on the door, juice, cookies, just garbage on the seats. The car is dirty. It's like a dumpster in the car, like literally. And then just putting the babies in on the seat. Guys, no. I can't think of anything that would be an excuse for that, man. Sometimes I don't even know what to say about it. I can't think of any excuse, but you can't get to a point in your life when you're like that and you just have stuff like that, like the car is coated in bread. Someone may look and think, oh, this is an old car, it doesn't matter, but that's stewardship. You want to clean your car out. You take care of your vehicle. You do what you can. It has a bad paint job, still wash it. And God blesses you. If you are faithful over the little, then he can trust you with the much, right? So guys, it's just on my heart to talk about that. I pray that this resonates, this blesses someone, this encourages someone. Do your best. And as you do it with a whole heart, and you do it before God, that's what you got to think. I'm doing this because God sees what I'm doing. He has blessed me with this job. It may not be what I want, but it's a start. I'm going to be a good steward of this. And as I do this, he is going to be faithful, and he is going to open doors for me and new opportunities. All right, guys. Peace.